Hey everybody, I'm your host Kris, K-R-I-S, and welcome to episode 2, but kind of episode 3 of my podcast, video cast, slice of life, update, random thoughts video series, whichever you want to call it, it be that. It's the show where I either talk about nothing for an hour or I talk about something that's been on my mind for an hour. Usually something I can rant about, but sometimes I can rant about it in a positive way too. I don't know how that works, but it happens. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button below. Follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me and become a patron over on Patreon. Links are at the very top of the description at the bottom. And enjoy your day. I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone's been having a great week. I really do gotta say, since I started doing these, even though it's a little stressful, it legitimately is. I'm not good with the whole schedule thing. You know, I've never been good with that. But I've been trying, at least every Sunday. Let's do this. Next week it's gonna be on a Friday or something, guaranteed. After saying that, But these have been a lot of fun for me. I've been enjoying the hell out of them, and they have been a very stimulating experience. You know what I mean? Stimulating, and I get to get a lot of crap off my chest. Not tar or anything, because I don't smoke. But usually, I try to get into something in a video, and then it slips my mind. But this allows me to focus. Kind of like Mewtwo's helmet. Was that for focusing, or Psycho Mantis's mask? But something like that. What's been going on with me for the last week, though? What's been going on? Well, last time I complained about wanting to get a phone. FYI, if there's anything wrong with the video quality of this video, I apologize. Last week looked a little fucked up. Looked a little weird. I just tried some weird stuff there to see if it would change anything. But there's like this motion blur. Look at that motion blur. 60 frames my ass. $120 down the drain. But if there's anything weird about the quality, I apologize. I also apologize for having my exercise mat in the shot. It's so embarrassing being there, I use it every day when I'm exercising and getting my 8-pack abs. But it's just in the shot. I apologize for that. I'd move it if I could, but my arms do be tired after burning them out from all the exercise. But just a little heads up, if it's ugly, I apologize, and I also apologize for my face. Anybody laugh at that, you're a bad person. I lost my train of thought. Fuck, that was it. Last week I complained about wanting to get a phone, or needing to get a phone more so, and I was talking to my sister about it. And that went down. It got a little heated. But eventually, I started talking about how when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, all I really need is a good camera on the phone, right? No, not right at all. Because phone microphones suck. All these YouTubers, right? All these goddamn YouTubers with their, we're live streaming outside at the beach. We're in a storm. It's great. But you can hear them so clearly, and you're like, man, phones have come a long way. This is amazing. So I'm like testing my sister's phones out, my father's and my mother's, and everybody's phone I know. I've been testing it out, but like, doing a little reconnaissance. You know what I mean? Having it in my arm, going, hey, this is Kris. The KRIS bit. Watch it back. What does it sound like? What does it look like? It looks all right. Most of the phones look all right. Probably this quality. But the microphone. What's with the microphone? It's a fucking phone. The whole point is to have a good microphone, right? No. Apparently that's not the fucking point anymore. Selfies is the point of owning a phone. So I'm listening back, and it sounds like I'm talking into this microphone, but from the back, while I'm speaking into the front. It's like I'm talking into the phone for a video. And it's like I'm over here. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I hope you're all enjoying today's shots. What the fuck is that? It's a telephone. Alexander Graham Bell. He be looking down on everybody going, dude, you fucked it up. What the fuck. You know, it's so now it's like Tuesday night. It's like Tuesday night, and I'm talking to my sister, and we're hanging out, and we're watching TV shows, and I start messing around the phone, and I start bitching and moaning. This phone sucks, Kelly. Kelly, you suck. This whole fucking thing is a waste of time, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, I cannot believe it. There's no way I'm ever gonna be able to record outside with a fucking microphone like this. You know, may as well be wearing a headset. And we started Googling. Why do all these YouTubers have such amazing phone quality? Are they buying those like Apple 20s fucking tablets that cost $900, you know? And I'm looking them up, and I'm like, dude, all these YouTubers are fucking liars. Every one of you are fucking liars. You have microphones attached to your fucking selfie sticks and your phones. You bought a separate microphone and you shove it into the damn thing, and then you record with that. And I'm looking at these videos, and the videos are like, you can do this. Google it. It's like what would the title be? How to improve your mobile phone's audio. And I'm like, oh, here we go, Kelly. What's this? And I go into the settings or something. It's like, okay, guys. So you just bought a phone and you want to make a video like this. Let me show you how you're going to make a video like this. First thing, you're going to buy a selfie stick, right? Then you're going to hold it out like that. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if the phone sounds like shit this close to my mouth, then what's it going to sound like from 6 feet away when some dude's like, hey, woo, Niagara Falls, don't want to fall in, you know? What's it going to sound like? But he sounds great. And I'm like, oh, shit. So what's he going to do? He goes, first thing you want to do is buy a selfie stick, because you don't want to be holding it like this all the time. It's too close to your eyes. People want to be able to see the environment. What's the point of filming outside if you're not going to let them see the environment? You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, this guy got it. 800,000 subscribers. Nice. He knows what he's doing. Second thing, what you want to do is you want to go on Amazon. The links are below in the video description. What you want to do here is you want to buy a microphone. And I'm sitting there like this. And he goes, yeah, it's about $70 or $80. It's not too pricey for just a cheap little microphone for outdoor use. You know, you got to make sure the wind doesn't get into it. So you want to buy a good filter. If you want a good filter, links below in the description. And I'm sitting there like this, and I'm like, it's a fucking phone. The primary reason for getting a phone is the audio. And now it's telling me I need to buy an extend. Do you know what this is like? It's like back in the day with the old consoles, where you get the fucking extender and shove it down to be able to play those 2 or 3 games that required it. You know what I mean? It's like you buy a PlayStation 4 and Sony immediately go, no. You don't want to play VR on the PlayStation 4. Yes, it says PlayStation 4 on the box, but you know what? You want to buy the PlayStation Pro. PlayStation 4 is also great. Buy the PlayStation 4, but also buy the PlayStation Pro. Because you want to play games, right? Well, you have to buy the Pro. You want to play games. You know, it's like, but PlayStation 4 is a console. It's a gaming console. You released it. It's like, it's great. PlayStation 4 is fantastic. So buy it, but also buy the PlayStation 4 Pro and VR headset. You know, it's like, it feels like that. It feels like I'm buying the shit that I'm supposed to buy, but then the fucking company's like, yeah, well, the thing it's supposed to do doesn't do. You know what I mean? Like, cell phones exist so you can talk outside of your house, right? Am I wrong in saying that? Did I skip something along these steps? Is there a reason why I need to buy a fucking microphone for my microphone? Why don't I just, here's what I do. I'll buy a bigger long arm. I'll buy a 50-foot one of these, and I'll attach it to my computer, and I'll just hang this out the window, and I'll be sitting down the street with a good microphone. That makes sense. Stretch Armstrong this shit. You know? This cord's like 25 feet long. I could record with this microphone from my kitchen without problem. But no, the fucking telephones. Yeah, the microphones don't work. Yeah, but you can take a selfie. You know, here's your selfie, put it up on your Instagram. Just don't try to call anybody. You know, like want to record a video? You can't. Not with good audio, at least. Fuck. And I'm sitting there. I'm dumbfounded. Last week I was just pissed off that I had to get a phone. Now I have to get a phone, and I have to get shit with the phone because I'm a fucking scrubby ass YouTuber. You know, I'm never going to call anybody. I'm never going to call anybody. It's going to not exist. It's going to be like I may as well buy a portable camera at this point. You know what I mean? But there's some people I have to keep in touch with, so it's the best of both worlds, or at least I thought. Apparently now it's like, buy a microphone, attach it on top. You know, make sure the wind doesn't fuck it up though. You know, here's what I see. When I see someone with a fucking phone out like that on a selfie stick, and it has a bunch of equipment on top of it, here's what I know is going to happen, at least in the town I live in. I'm going to be like, hey guys, what's up? Some retard in the background. Or they're just going to like run past, grab it, and keep running. And I'm going to be like, alright, at least upload it to my YouTube channel. You know, that's what's going to happen. You have your arm out like that with fucking 500 euros worth of equipment. Yeah, or a gust of wind, or some other shit. I'm not going to make this a phone rant. I promise. I'm done with it. I got a pillow on my back. It's all comfy and shit. I'm done with it. I'm just saying. Why the fuck is the primary function not the primary goal for the creators? Like, what are they up to? Do people really want 8K quality that they're not going to use? I mean, what are they doing with all these photos? What are you doing with all these photos that you're going to gladly sacrifice audio? You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking phone. And that's one of the reasons why I hate phones. You ever pick up a phone and they're like, hello? And you're like, yeah. And they sound like they're a billion miles away. And they might be. It's a fucking phone. Who knows where they're from? But you don't want that. You're like, you have to concentrate while you're listening to it. And it's pissing you off. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm fine, bye. I don't want that. I can look at pictures just fine in 480p, you know. But focus into the fucking audio. This should be low tier. This is a high tier fucking microphone. This is awesome. This is great. This is like $170 or some shit. It was well worth the money. You know, why is a more expensive phone than this? Why does it have worse quality? That's all I'm asking. I gotta say though, you guys were great last week, man. You know, I really realized I'm not alone in this. It's not just, I thought I was like the black sheep. Is that racist to say these days? What's the origin of that story? Anyway, I thought I was like the outsider, the punk rock guy. Ugh, I don't like phones. I'm cool, you know, Bart dude. You know, I thought I was like that. But then I look at the comments of the last video, and everybody's like, phones suck, Kris. Phones suck. You rock, man. Finally someone said it. Someone's talking up to the giant corporations. You know, I was like, dude, damn. Everybody, like, nobody was like, nah, phones are great, fuck you. Nobody was like that. They were like, dude, I hate phones. I always have a phone, I hate phones. And I'm so happy. Because at least you know where I'm coming from now. I'm not trying to give you evidence. No, let me give you all these reasons why, just so you can understand my frustration. I'm like, I just say phones suck, and everyone's like, yeah, he said it. Phones suck. Like they'll be glued in it, and they'll tweet it. Man, phones suck. I'm gonna fucking tweet it. You guarantee. That's the first thing I'm gonna tweet. Remind me of that. I'm gonna get a phone. Phones suck. First tweet. As soon as I log into anything on the damn thing. But yeah, I'm gonna get a phone. I think here's a question. I actually have a phone question for all y'all, because I do want to use it to record. Tell me what's the quality called? Like megapixels? Tell me the megapixel of the phone you have. Is it like 8 or 10 or 16? Tell me the megapixel quality of the phone you have. My sister's is like 8 or something. I was thinking I'll get something like 13 if I can afford it. This quality of outside would be good enough for me, whatever this would be, you know. So look at that fucking motion blur, dude. Look look at that. Look at that. And I'm like, what the fuck? Hello, ladies. Ooh. I don't know how to turn it off. But, you know, that's what I want. I want to know if you know the megapixels of your phone. Tell me what you got. I want to kind of like round up, see what the average is. But, you know, whatever. The rest of my week's been all right. It's been all right. I mean, I've been kind of tired. The fucking heat finally went away today. And I'm falling apart, man. Every year, this heat is killing me. I'm not a weather guy, you know? Every year, I die inside for a month during the summer, and it's only getting hotter. Thankfully, we got some rain last night. Even when it was raining, it was still hot. I actually stood out. I think it was 3 a.m. and I went outside for some reason, and I actually stood there for a minute when I felt the little drops of misty rain hitting me, and I was so happy. And you know, I say I'm a pretty introverted guy, and I'm introspective with that shit too. It annoys me. I can never sleep. My brain just doesn't shut down. But one of my favorite things as a kid who was walking around in the rain, like I would always, you know, walk home with the coat hoodie up to here. You ever do this? You put the hoodie up to here, and then you pull the strings, and it goes up to here. So all that's left is your eyes. Dude, I used to walk home in the hailstorms, just going, yeah, this is life, man. This is the shit. And then I'd be soaking wet. I have a scar on my wrist. I don't know if you can't see it now because I'm so pale and the brightness is up. But it's like an extra white little line going along here in my wrist. I was in religion class, you know, Ireland. I was in religion class when I was like 14, and I was having a ruler fight with my friend Daniel, and we were using metal rulers from metal shop, and we were like, doo, 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 doo. You know, it's like, yeah, bitch, bring it. Religion teacher comes in, sees us, and is like, hey, stand up. By the way, she was beautiful. Like, I'm talking near movie actress gorgeous. If she wasn't, you know, then it would be amazing. All these fucking dudes complaining about these hot 22-year-old teachers fucking them, man. Go fuck yourselves. You know, 13-year-old me? Okay, that's a whole different, way more serious subject. I'm just saying you're a little bitch. It's true, though. I mean, I guess double standards. I'm just saying. I'll trade lives with you. But she comes in, and she's like, hey, you two, stand up. What are you doing fighting in class? And we're like, oh, we're having a little fight with the sticks, sword fights. And she's like, you're 14 years old. You're not 8. What's wrong with you? No one else in class is doing that. And I look around and I'm like, okay, at least 4 of these guys are on pills though. You know, I'm like thinking that shit. But anyway, she tells us to stand up there. It's like 3 minutes before the end of school anyway, on a Friday. And I'm standing there and I feel like my arm is like really warm. I just like feel like it's in milk or something. I look down and my fucking wrist is split open and there's blood like running down all the way into my elbow when I lifted it up. And I go, dude. And Daniel looks at me and he goes, oh, fuck. And, you know, this guy, he tries to act like he doesn't give a shit too much. He's kind of like, yeah, I don't care. Who cares about that? Whatever. But at that moment, he was like so apologetic. I still had this scar going right across my wrist. It was pumping. And I was there and I put my wrist down and I hit it. And I went, miss, could I go to the bathroom, please? And she was like, you should have went to the bathroom before I came in and saw you fighting with your friend. And I was like, okay, but I'm very sorry. Can I please go to the bathroom? I'm bursting. And she goes, okay. So I run to the bathroom, and for the next like 20 minutes, I had my wrist underneath freezing cold bathroom water, trying to get the fucking blood to stop while squeezing like toilet paper against it. And Daniel was like freaking out next to me, and he was like, dude, you all right? Now, when I say busted, it wasn't a vein or anything. It was, I think he thought it was for a second, but it was like a really deep layer, just about 1.5 inches, and it was going all the way down. And people were walking in, like kids were walking in and out, just like going to the toilet before they go home, just looking at me and going, all right. And then just walking off. And I walked home in the rain. And on the way home in the fucking rain, I noticed there was blood fucking falling onto my coat. So by the time I got into the house, I was like, hey, ma'am, I cut myself out. In the hallway, I yelled it out. I didn't yell it, but it's like, ma'am, do we have a plaster? I cut myself at school. And she's like, oh, yeah, dear, I'll get them for you. I'll bring them out in a second. So she comes into the hallway. There's blood on my hand. There's blood on my coat sleeve and down the side. And she just like heart attack right then and there. It was enough that I thought I was going to be woozy. I didn't get any stitches though. I got a couple of scars. I got fucked up a couple of ways growing up. I never got any stitches. I have about a 6-inch cut down the back of my right calf. Why am I talking about this? What was I talking about to get to this point? Anyway, self-harm. I was about 5 years old, and and I was in the hills, up in the field, and I seen this Alsatian dog, this German Shepherd, and I was always told by some assholes, I don't even remember who, but people who think dogs are scary were like, oh, you don't want to mess with them, they'll kill you. They're very violent dogs. And being a stupid 5-year-old, I believed him. So I see this random German Shepherd walking around, and he sees me, and he's all the way down the hill, and I'm all the way up the hill, and I freak out. I think I'm going to get eaten alive. So I start running through the grass, and he's a dog, so he chases me. I'm like, I'm crying in tears, running for my life, and all I hear is, his fucking tongue flopping against his ear. And I'm running and I'm running and I'm running. Next thing I know, my leg just goes whoosh, like a strap just went around it several times and pulled. And I fall to the ground. I turn around. I twist my ankle doing it. And there's barbed wire wrapped around my leg and tearing into the back of my calf. Because where I used to live, the neighborhood I lived was a field filled with cows about 2 years before the houses were built. And instead of taking away all the barbed wire fences and stuff, the people who built it just knocked them down and the grass just grew up around them. So I fell, I twisted my ankle, and the fucking thing just tore down my calf. And the dog, I'm freaking out. I'm like trying to pull the fucking barbed wire out of my leg. It's all wrapped around it like a fucking block of candy or some shit. And the dog comes running at me, and I'm like, I'm dead now. He sensed blood, he sees the blood, he smells the blood. I'm getting eaten alive. Dog runs up to me, looks at me, sniffs me, walks off. Right there. Took me 3 minutes to get that shit out of my leg and leave my ass home. I can't remember much after that, but I know I never got stitches, but I still got that scar. And it's pretty, when I get a phone, I'm going to take a picture. Yep, because it's no good for microphones. It may as well be good for selfies on my fucked up legs. But yeah, it was that day I realized, big dogs are fucking awesome. Big animals, I love big animals. They're all fucking awesome. I actually legitimately dislike people who dislike big dogs. If you think a big dog is bad, like different temperaments and stuff, but if you think if you don't like big animals, I hate you. Because fear is one of the leading components that lead to murder when it comes to animals and people. Oh, scare me, kill it. Well, you know what? I'm going to kill you instead because I like the dog and I don't like you. How about that? You know what I mean? I don't know how I got onto this. I was actually going to talk about PlayStation real quick. I think phone just popped into my head accidentally and I can't get rid of it. It really is bullshit though, at the end of the day. It really is bullshit. I mean, if you're going to buy a fucking phone, there's one reason why, right? Main reason, at least the casuals would buy it. But it is what it is. I'm actually pretty excited. If I had to say anything, I'm pretty excited. If I get the whole quality I want, visually, sound wise, it'd be cool to do some of these in different areas of the world. Like on this side of the couch or over there by that window. It'd be badass. I love those outdoor vlogs. Something that breathes life, because I love nature. Nature's beautiful. Rain's beautiful. Sun can be beautiful, except it brings out more people. And it'd be nice to show more aspects of what I enjoy in the world. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll join a gym. I'll be like, yeah, here's my workout for today. Dude, we could hit on gym chicks while they work out, and I could live stream it, and they'd be all like, dude, Yes, they'll see my fucking follower count, my subscriber count, 6,000 subscribers. Kris, take me on yours. Because they love that shit, man. They love that shit when you hit on them when they're working out. Nothing makes them happier. But, no, you know, my week's been pretty good. Overall, my week's been pretty good. The only really issue was the heat. Overall, I'm having a great one. I found some new types of ice cream I can chow down on, and that's helped me out quite a bit. I actually credit that to saving several nights of sweat for cooling my body down. But overall, you know, it's been good. I've been playing some Dark Souls and reading up on the PlayStation 5. Sony was talking about they want to make the PlayStation 5 more focused towards hardcore gamers. And when I read that title, I wasn't annoyed by it. Am I missing something? I wasn't annoyed by it. Some people seem really peeved off. They're like, hardcore? Why? Why the hardcore? What happened to all the indie games and shit that you loved in the PS4 era? I feel like the PlayStation 4 dropped that indie love thing they were going on really early into the whole cycle. And it seems more like just a business thing than anything else. Like they went into the PlayStation 4 going, okay, indie games are super popular. Indie games are the up and up and blowing everybody away. Indie games are fantastic. You know, Bloodstained just came out and that game's awesome. But I think as soon as they realized their first party exclusives have been selling like crazy. Like, it's insanity how well they've been selling this generation, isn't it? Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us Remastered, like a fucking re-release, sold 15 million units. You know? They're all 8 million units plus. That's Pokemon units. That's Assassin's Creed in its prime. That's Call of Duty. Like, wow. Single player games did that? This generation? That's absurd to even make up something, you know? I could tell more believable lies. It's wild. So I feel like they dropped the whole indie love thing once that started kicking in, that the first party was doing well. And now they're coming out and they're telling people, oh yeah, PlayStation 5 we're focusing more on the hardcore, focusing more on exclusive deals. And I can understand that part, because exclusive deal wise, they would be taking content from other consoles, which I don't like. I like exclusives because I like identity. In fact, it's less to do with consoles itself and more I love everything in an artsy way, to have its own voice and face. I love when people name their PCs. I love that the PlayStation and the Xbox have their own names. You know what I mean? Like the PlayStation is Neo, right? And what was the Xbox One? You know, water cooler. You know what I mean? So I love that stuff. I love it's like giving it a sense of life where there is no life, and that's only making the world better in my eyes. But exclusive deals where you're restricting another console from the gamers being able to get the DLC or the maps or whatever, that's horse shit, man. And I don't want the industry leader to be doing that, you know? It's like, yeah, you're a business, you want to make as much money as possible, but how much money are you really going to make from DLC? I mean, maybe if it's Grand Theft Auto 6 and it's like, hey, here's an extra 30 missions, you know? But when it comes down to it, 9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 100, no one's going to fucking go, oh, that DLC's on the PlayStation. Fuck you, Xbox. I'm going to buy this on the PlayStation. No one's going to do that. Very rare. It has to be for like a long, very popular franchise that you're insane about to do that shit, you know? Like, everyone knows I love Tekken. PlayStation 4 got the Tekken 4 outfits. PC didn't. But PC is the better version, so I bought it on PC. But it totally sucked not to be able to play the PlayStation 4 versions without mods made by the community on the PC. You know what I mean? It hurts. It's not good. All it does is leave a negative taste in your mouth. Now, I love normal exclusives. I know many people don't love exclusives. But why would a console even exist if it didn't have exclusives? Who the fuck would buy it then? You know, like logically, what's the point? But I just think there's like a step too far. But overall, the whole Sony aiming for more hardcore, I see that as a positive, man. Because at the end of the day, it's the hardcore gamers that keep certain franchises alive. It's the casuals who will buy FIFA. You know, casuals will buy Madden or baseball game, you know? It's the casuals who buy those games. But it's the hardcore that will buy even the more popular action games. Uncharted is more hardcore. You know what I mean? The Last of Us is more hardcore. Spider-Man, in a way, is still more hardcore. Honestly, Spider-Man on PS4 surprised me with how much dexterity. Maybe I played it wrong, but I needed a lot. You need a lot of dexterity to play that game in some of those base missions, man. You're jumping in and out of your item menu, shooting different weapons like non-stop. I don't know how that's meant to be a casual game in some aspects. Most aspects, yeah. Some aspects, but that stuff, no idea. You know, you can literally skip every puzzle in the game and every boss fight, I think, if you want. But the actual fighting, it kicks your ass. But even that game in essence is more of a hardcore game. It mixed in with casual, you know, it's Christmas, the kids love Spider-Man, get them Spider-Man. But still, there's still elements, the origins and the overall view, like who's gonna buy the DLC, who's gonna buy the sequel, who's gonna pre-order the sequel if this game is good. You know, casuals were gonna buy a PlayStation 4 Spider-Man even if the quality was less than it is. Like that could have, instead of been an 8 out of 10, it could have been a 6. It would have sold just as much because the casuals don't give a shit. They're not reading the magazines. They're like, oh, Spider-Man, my kid's going to love this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to play it on the weekends myself. So for me, hardcore is a good way to go. And personally, it means for gaming, for me, it could be better. You know, it could mean games that will have more of an aim towards my style of gaming. The Last of Us 2 is coming out, for instance. Now, if you look back on The Last of Us 1, I've already talked about how much of an influence it was on bringing back survival horror and on video games in general. So if you look at The Last of Us 2, they got their work cut out for them. You know what I mean? They have that crazy work cut out for them. And because it's already sold like 20 million overall or 25 million overall on the PS4 on the PS3 and the PS4, I don't think they're going to be trying to push a more casual target with it, especially with how gory the game demos have been so far. Definitely haven't been trying to get more non-hardcore audience into it. So for me, I hope they go an extra length. If I'm looking back on The Last of Us 1, is there things I'd like to change? Yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to change. The first thing I gotta change is I don't want any goddamn ladders or any goddamn crate pushing or anything like that. Give me a real puzzle. A real puzzle. It doesn't have to be the hardest puzzle ever. It doesn't have to be the most complex riddle ever written. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Just give me something that isn't me playing fetch with Ellie, you know? Don't be like, okay, go get it, girl, go get it. Yeah, come on, bring it back, yeah. Good girl. Don't give me that. Give me something a little depthy. A little smidgen depth. It's so strange that they did that, isn't it? Isn't that weird that they did that? The game outside of normal mode isn't very easy, and on the highest difficulties, it's a real challenge of a game. But the puzzles aren't puzzles; they're like fetching quests, you know. It's so strange that they did that because, to me, I would imagine most gamers would have been turned off earlier in the game already if they didn't like the combat, you know? Or if they found the casuals that we're talking about, if they found the combat too difficult, they would have been turned off it already, no? I know I would have. I've quit games because of the general gameplay 20 seconds in, how it feels, instead of a puzzle or a boss fight. I don't know, because isn't it like 10% or 15% of gamers complete games? Most gamers don't get past the first area. It like statistically speaking, if you look it up, like you go to like PSN profiles and you look up your favorite game that you've platinumed or played at all, and look at the first trophy. The first trophy is something like walk 5 feet to unlock this trophy, right? Just press the start button on the start menu to unlock this trophy, and you're like, okay, there's no way that's not 100% for unlocks. You look at it, it's like 96%. 4% of people didn't press the start button at the main menu. 4% didn't walk 5 feet to get a trophy. Like, that's incredible how low it is. The number of people that actually beat a video game is incredibly low. So I think with The Last of Us, you would have been put off within the first 15 minutes of, walking around with Sarah. Casual gamers would have gotten eaten in sections at that beginning part that you weren't supposed to get killed in or something, and they would have been like, fuck this, I quit. And then after that, for the first half hour is a lot of walking and talking, right? So how people would get put off by the puzzles is crazy to me. I mean, if you're into games like Call of Duty and you're presented with a code to input, I can understand. It's just not your type of game. But you're still a gamer. You play all these different games anyway. So my goal is to, actually I haven't even started this, but we need to get on Naughty Dog a little bit and be like, hey, could you push it up a little bit? Maybe have to enter a code. Maybe have to remember a 4-digit number just for a little bit. Just do something a little bigger. Because you got that gameplay down. That shooting mechanics, I think, is lovely. I love those slow shotgun blasts in these games. Fucking Alan Wake, Resi, Last of Us. What other games? Even Metal Gear 4 and 5. They feel, when you're boom, it feels good. You got the gameplay down. The Last of Us 2 is coming out real soon. So I'm thinking of all these things that we could talk about that you'd like to see changed, or that you'd like to see happen. Some people don't like Joel because of how The Last of Us 1 ended. I gotta say, I am 100% backing up Joel on that. Fuck the world. The hell with it. What was her name? Marlene? Bitch. Oh. Horrible character. If anything, Naughty Dog are really bad at making likable female characters. You got Elena and Ellie. The rest suck. I hate Chloe. What was the other one? Tess. Fucking hated Tess. For me, The Last of Us doesn't even start until she's dead. Spoilers. Happy spoilers. I haven't even played Uncharted 4 yet. But looking at the what's the black chick's name, whatever her name is, looking at her render, like the CGI render or whatever, I'm immediately like, I don't like her. Nothing to do with her being black. Just don't like her. She looks like someone's gonna be an asshole. Do you know? I can picture it. I can picture it in my head. I can picture the fucking thing in my head. For some reason, she's a good guy. Okay, tell me if I'm right. I legitimately do not know. She's a good guy. She's a good guy. But she has an attitude problem, and she doesn't like Nathan Drake for some reason. I'm picturing this in my head, and Nathan Drake's all like, "Oh, look at me! I act like the Flash from the Justice League cartoon. I'm always cracking jokes and shit, even in intense situations, cause I'm two-dimensional." And the black chick, she's all like, "Oh, well, I'm angry at you for this reason, or we just run into each other while I'm trying to rob something, and there's gonna be a confrontation." Nathan Drake's gonna be all like, hey, I don't want to fight. He'll put his hand on her shoulder or something, and then she'll kick the shit out of him. She'll be like, what? And then Nathan Drake's on the ground going, oh God, I'm bleeding, I'm hurt. And she's all like angry, like super angry for no fucking reason. Like, grr, I'm angry, you know? And Drake's on the ground, and instead of being like a little bitch about it, he's trying to be like witty, because that's what he does. He's all like, oh, damn, you really kicked my ass. You're a cool character. I hope the gamers really like you. And she's all like, I still hate you. But then like 10 hours later, they'll get along. I think that's like the Naughty Dog formula. It's a very American comic booky, is what I'm getting at. They bring in a character to big them up. I might be wrong, but I played Uncharted 2 and 3. I haven't played 1. But I played Uncharted 2 and 3, and that's what I felt with that. Like the fucking Isaac, or whatever the main guy's name was in number 2. And then half the cast in number 3. Like the bald dude who breaks his leg halfway through and gets written out of the story. You know? I actually started to like him and he gets written out. I think that in real life he ended up getting sick or something. They had to write him out of the game. But, you know, I want more likable characters in Uncharted, or The Last of Us 2, I should say. I got an activate Windows. But the trailer's giving me that. I mean, I love Ellie, and Ellie's girlfriend looks cool. You know, she looks cool. I wouldn't say she's all that interesting. And the story, I'm worried. Because Ellie's gay, right? And there's this like TV trope where it's like, okay, we have to kill the gay character because the other gay character will use it as motivation for revenge. And you see that in so many shows, even in my favorite show, Buffy. You know, you see that in so many shows. And to me, Naughty Dog, their style of writing is they'll watch whatever the biggest blockbuster popcorn movie is that day, and they'll write a script that's similar to that, and they'll dumb it down. They'll be like, Indiana Jones is awesome, but instead of using that as reference, we're going to use Brendan Fraser's The Mummy as a reference and inspiration, and we're going to dial it down a little bit more, and that's going to be Uncharted. You know, like that's how I feel they do be a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's how the game's stories tend to present themselves to me. So with Ellie, I'm just like, please avoid killing the gay chick. Do not kill her off. You know, don't kill her off, and don't have that be the catalyst for Ellie running around with Xena Warrior Princess vocals. You know, doing flying kicks and shit. Calm down. Think of a different story. Don't kill Joel either. Many people want Joel dead. I love Joel. Honestly, there's two things you can really do to ruin the game for me. Kill Ellie, kill Joel. Mainly if you kill Joel, I'm done. I'm not getting The Last of Us 3 if Joel dies. I'm not doing it. I'll get The Last of Us 2 probably day one, or I might wait for the PS5. But Joel dies, not getting The Last of Us 3. Not happening. Not a chance. I love Joel. And yeah, you could make the game's world more about the world itself and less about the characters. You could retire Joel, you could retire Ellie, you could kill them off, and you could still have, you know, a world to talk about and explore. But at the same time, personally, I just don't want that. You know what I mean? I just don't want that. So right now, the only things I'm asking for, now this isn't me coming from a negative view. This is me coming from a hype view. Like, oh, I hope to do this, I hope to do this, I hope to do this, you know? So maybe a little bit more than pushing a crate with the puzzles. Don't kill the gay character, because that's just going to be, like, as a reason for pushing the story along. If she got hit by a bus halfway through the game, and they were all like, oh, you got to continue on without me, alright, whatever. But if you're going to kill the gay character and have the other gay character be like, I'll avenge you, I'm going to slaughter this entire world, roar, then it's like, I've seen this happen a billion times already. We don't need it to happen in The Last of Us. It's been done. You know, it's been done. You may as well have Joel walk around with a whip at this point. You know, it's like you're just doing what every other adventurer has done, and now you have a hat on and you're Indiana Jones and shit. It's like It's been done. There's no need to copy everything you see from television. So what I'm hoping with the story, right? Know nothing about it. What I'm hoping with the story is we know Ellie's going to be walking around all angry. We know she's in her dark, this is dark Ellie or Ellie Black. You know what I mean? This is going to be cool as shit. Like, oh yeah, I'm pissed off. Maybe she finds out her mom didn't die, but she had like they wanted to keep her to breed her for more Ellie children. That could totally be a thing. That'd be horrible. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm only fucking around. I'm just thinking lore-wise for a second. If Ellie has it in her DNA, then all you need to do is find another chick and have her spit out like 1 billion kids, and then wait like a decade or two, or 2 decades, and ask them nicely, don't force anything, to spit out a couple of kids, and then, humanity saved. But don't do that. That's awful. But just find a better reason, man. That's all I'm saying. Don't take any. Don't be writing down. Put away the pen. I'm not trying to give you any pointers with this shit. That'd be brutal. Oh my god. Yeah. We'll breed Ellie's mom. Yeah. She'll spit out kid after kid. Every year she's gonna spit out the fucking beehive, the queen. Oh, gross. Oh, they're going to call her that too, aren't they? She's going to be known as the queen. And she's going to be held in a laboratory called the hive. Oh, that's video game as shit. That's some video game. They would do that. Capcom would do that in an instant. Ah, shit. They fucking did it with the Resident Evil movie. The Red Queen in the hive. Oh, fuck. Oh, what were they talking about? I just want... I want an emotionally impactful game, and I think that's going to be really difficult because they wrote themselves into the corner with this, right? If Joel doesn't die, this is scenario 1. If Joel doesn't die, predictable. If Joel dies, predictable. If Joel gets injured and gets written out, and the rest of the game is Ellie on her own, predictable. If Joel doesn't get injured, but the game, like an hour into the cutscenes, has Joel like putting on her backpack, and she's all like, he's like, do you really want to do this, Ellie? Actually, that's the first trailer, right? Fuck. Do you really want to do this? Do you want to go through with this? And she's like, I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to kill them all. And he's like, all right, well, here's your sippy cup, and here's your backpack, and your little hat. Ooh, don't forget to change your underwear every day. Fucking Ash's mom. Be on your way now. And he gets written out because it's not his story. It's not his story this time around. Predictable. So I feel like they've really written themselves into a corner. Where could you go that is... Now, I'm not a writer. I don't know. I don't have an idea where this is going from. So if it's any of those 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 options I went with, the entire game, you're going to be like, this game's great. Oh, they're doing this. All right. Oh, that's where they went with this. All right, cool. I see it too much. Hold up. Bring that a bit closer. I look like I have... Do you know what's annoying about this camera? It looks like I have Vaseline on the screen itself. You know what I mean? I look like I have Vaseline all over my head. Like, there's this fucking filter going on. You ever play a video game? Especially those 2009 video games. Before Uncharted 2 came out and showed the world that beauty can exist again. Not everything has to be grey and brown. Everything with Vaseline. Resident Evil 5, fucking Vaseline the game. Ooh. Fucking piss filter. GTA 4. But, The Last of Us is going to be good. I'm excited for The Last of Us overall. I'm pretty excited. I'm very excited for the gameplay's combat to see how they evolve beyond what the first game did. In fact, The Last of Us 1 is so good. It makes me sad that... It makes me even more incredibly sad that Alan Wake 2 didn't get made. Because while extremely repetitive to the point where I feel like I can't replay it... maybe I'll be able to replay it sometime, but I honestly feel like I can't. You play the first chapter, you play the whole game, which is the same for many games, but this takes it to a whole new level. But other than that, the game was still a blast. And it would be so good to get an Alan Wake 2. It's just that I don't think we will now, you know? And The Last of Us plays similarly because they're all influenced by Resident Evil 4. And it plays similarly, but done better. But because it's a different world, I miss Alan. I miss the game ends on a cliffhanger with hope. And it would be so fucking great, man. It'd be so great. I think we're living in an era where everything is both universally amazing and universally sad and depressing. Because over here we have all these new advancements in storytelling in video games and fantastic changes to gameplay that have made games more accessible, more innovative, more structured and solidly put together. And then on the other hand, we have the fact that there's like maybe 4 different types of games and they're recycled, you know? And there's less variety in the world that's high quality. And the high quality that's there is amazing. But there's like 4 different types. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just hope The Last of Us 2 brings it and influences another generation. I would say The Last of Us, Dark Souls, in no order, of course. The Last of Us, Dark Souls, and what other game would you say? Probably one of those. 2010 wise, Minecraft would have to be involved, right? Those games are very. They changed gaming of the 2010s. Last of Us brought back survival horror in a way, action, and all this other stuff. And the other ones I mentioned, everyone knows what they've done. But I think The Last of Us needs to do something that does it again. You know, the PS5 era needs to start strong in more ways than just here's pretty graphics. Here's something new that will blow your mind for the next 10 years, and we're all going to rip it off. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just pretty low key excited about it. I'm low key excited about it. You know, there's a lot of shit to be excited about in the world today, especially when it does come to certain games. I've been hearing that Final Fantasy VIII Remastered has voiceover in both English and Japanese. Is that confirmed or is that a rumor? Because I was reading that last night. They didn't voice act the entire game, did they? They didn't do that. No way in hell. If they acted that game, I'm gonna be extremely. That's gonna be the most shocking reveal of the last 5 years, easily. Right? There's no way. I was reading that shit. Like I'm looking at the title here, and I'm still surprised by it. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not, but you know, if that is the case, then where the hell do you go with the next remaster and the next re-release? If game companies are starting to do that, a whole other world, you know. Sorry about that. First edit of the day's podcast. What was I talking about? Final Fantasy VIII getting dubbed? Final Fantasy VIII getting like voiced over? No way. There's no way in hell. If that happens, I will be shocked. I said shocked, not shot. I'll be pretty surprised, you know, because that's not even a big thing. That's a gigantic thing. That's beyond comprehension. Like that's not something I believe. I don't believe that for a second. I've been hearing people been telling me. People have been saying, "Hey Chris, Final Fantasy VIII. Did you see this article? They're saying that Final Fantasy VIII is getting a dub, a voiceover in English and Japanese." And I'm like, "You're a liar. I'm not looking into anything more than this one link you gave me. Don't come at me with any more shit until it has been confirmed or there's been some leaked shit that's been released, because that is humongous. The fact that that's even been said, even as a lie, would be massive, right? Like, what would that mean for other re-releases? Will Final Fantasy VII get another re-release with voiceover? Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9? You know? Will 10 get redubbed so they stop saying, you know, every sentence? You remember that with Final Fantasy 10? Every sentence ended with, you know? I think it was because the lip flaps. They should have just done what Metal Gear did and say, fuck it. Make everything look like a Jackie Chan movie. But that's just wild. And they're making a Final Fantasy 14 TV series. Dude. Square. Slow down. You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm on your side, alright? It's just that I don't know how to keep up with you right now. You're everywhere. You're gone crazy. I love it. I love it. You're doing great. You guys, you're getting there. Okay? You're getting there. Keep going on this track. Make sure Final Fantasy VII Remake's a great one. And just do what you gotta do, man, but do it right. You know, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to push anything on you. But I'm happy with where things are going personally. That's all. That's just where I'm coming from with it. Final Fantasy VIII, I love that fucking game. That game means a lot to me. And the soundtrack is up there with the best of them. So if they were to change things, I mean, Final Fantasy VII's re-releases, they fixed the translation issues to a large degree that the originals had on the PlayStation 1. I can finally understand what Barrett is saying, right? So let's talk about Final Fantasy VIII's mistranslations. There's not a lot of them from what I've read. I don't know Japanese. I can't speak Japanese. Nanny? You know? I don't know Japanese, but people who know Japanese have been saying for years, 8 has been really well done. However, when Squall says whatever, which he says a lot, in the original Japanese, I think he's saying I'm sorry or sorry. You know, like, hey, Squall, that was rude. Sorry. You know, instead of whatever. Fuck you. I'm Squall, bitch. You know, it gives him a kind of an attitude problem, dickish personality, you know? And a lot of people had that problem with him when he first came out. When 8 first was released, they were like, Squall's a bit of an asshole. You know what? I don't like this guy. Now, if they did change the translation, forget the fucking voiceover aspect or concept or rumor, whatever that is. If they change just the translation of whatever to the more accurate, I'm sorry, then that would change a lot of that game in English, right? Just that little thing. A big aspect of his character is modified now. Actually, we got the modified version. It's fixed, but we're ingrained. It's ingrained into us. It's buried deep, you know, of what we see and think of this character. So if they fix it, or if they change it, and they have him saying sorry, I think it would make an entire replay just changing those 2 words. An entire replay would be required because you're now going to see Squall from this new perspective, and it's going to bring out a lot of discussion. Some people didn't like Squall because of his attitude. Now, are they going to be brought over and saying, you know, I like Squall? Or, if they do change it, you know, he was an asshole before, but at least he wasn't a little bitch. Now he's just going around moping, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. You know? Like, what could happen? I've already said I love the game, so that means a lot to me. I mean, there's a couple of things that could change about the game that would require a fucking remake in itself. Like, the main base, your boarding school, has, like, a dude buried underneath it who's all like, hey, I'm the creator of this place, and I'm an asshole, and I'm going to attack you now. And nobody knew I existed. I've just been down here. And after that, the story kind of goes crazy. You know, the story gets a little wacky after that aspect raises its ugly head. So, I think there's a couple of things that could or probably should change. Not in a way to make it an alternate version, but just, fix up some errors they made. Like giving me a choice on whether or not I want to go through the junction tutorial at the beginning of the game. Give me that choice. Hey, Squall, do you know how to use this? Yes, I do. Okay, then I won't waste your time. Because even when you're skipping that shit, it's 10 minutes long, man. You're there for an hour, and you still don't know what the fuck it means. Then you just start equipping magic later on yourself, getting bored, and you realize you're now in God mode. But I don't know. Today, this week, not a lot of gaming news that's interested me. So I decided, you know what? I'm just going to ramble for a bit, talk about my injuries, talk about my phone issues, talk about some video games. I mean, The Last of Us 2, it's going to be an amazing game. I'm going to love it. Just a little sprinkle of difference. How are they going to make that as revolutionary as number one? How are they going to do that? And you got your work cut out for you, Naughty Dog. And then finally, Final Fantasy VIII. I'm sorry. Whatever. Yeah. Old school gaming for me right now is pretty top tier. I'm loving it. It's fucking great. But new games on the horizon, there's one or two that got my eye, and I can't wait to see more. Other than that, I ain't got anything else to say other than I hope you all enjoyed your week and you're enjoying these podcasts, videocasts, extended vlogs, TV, internet show, whatever you want to call it, and all that good shit. If you enjoyed this video, like I said at the beginning, which I didn't say at the beginning, so I'm going to cut it into the beginning. Hey? Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit the like button below. Follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me and become a patron over on Patreon. Links are at the very top of the description at the bottom. And enjoy your day. Now I'm going to cut back here. You see, I took that section, right? I took that section and I threw it to the beginning of the video. Because most people, they'll be like, oh, I'll like the video, but I'm not going to finish it. So they're not listening to me now. But they did it back there. Huh? Yeah, fucking veteran over here. I mean, a veteran wouldn't have fucked up and have to do this cut. But go fuck yourself. I'm all right. Enjoy your day, everybody. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your week. I'm gonna go chill out, get some dinner myself, and play some Final Fantasy VII. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, night, everybody. Peace. Much love. And play some games, man. Tell me what you're playing. I want to know what game you're playing. And if you're liking it. Tell me in the comments. I like reading the comments. They're fucking fun. See you later.